Hello everyone, my name is Gray and I am a cosplayer. This video is a little get to know me, get to know my story and my cosplay journey, so I hope that you enjoy. I wish I had the photos to prove it, but I've always loved playing dress up. I had plenty of princess dresses and plastic jewelry and makeup kits and shoes and all that stuff growing up. I loved dress up so much that I would force my little brother, to join me. Aside from dressing up as Princess Peach many times in my childhood, my first official cosplay was in 2019. This was my first ever time in cosplay. October 2019, I wore this to school for Halloween. It was a costume from Amazon I had to convince my mother to order, a wig I had no idea how to style, and the only skills I had were makeup. I got some weird looks at school, but I didn't really care. I felt beautiful, and I wanted to do this more often. The COVID-19 lockdown in 2020 gave me that opportunity. I started posting on TikTok and Instagram, mostly as Toko since that was the only costume I had. Still, I didn't have much in terms of skill, but I was having fun. This was the first cosplay photo I ever took that I felt truly amazing in. If you're familiar with that one meme of Lizzo's social media page, that was me with this image. I started to expand my collection, mostly with the help of some amazing friends that supported me from the beginning. Lockdown was still ongoing, and though cosplaying was a fun escape, it was also all I was doing, along with spending long hours playing video games. I was starting to get burnt out. I was losing motivation quickly due to a mix of personal life issues, sudden insecurity, and pressure I felt from expectations I made up for myself, specifically on social media. I slowly stopped cosplaying and posting on social media. I really only cosplayed things if they were easy because I didn't have any motivation to go on, kind of like this 2B photo since my face was covered and I didn't have to do makeup. There is one other photo of me during this time in this 2B cosplay that you'll get to see later. I posted these photos of Junko. Then 4 months later, I posted one photo of my Monami cosplay. I took a few photos of Mikan I had on backlog and posted those, and then posted one last photo of my Monami cosplay before I disappeared. After I disappeared from cosplay, I began to post here and there of makeup looks that I'd done, and I'd even posted one photo of me on Halloween dressed as Misa in a cosplay that I had rotting away in my closet for months. After that, I went back to posting makeup, but privately. I didn't share anything publicly. And most of the photos were just of me partying. In 2024, my bestie, Samayed Kaz, also known as Win, convinced me to get out of my house, go to a con for one day, and cosplay. So I dug out my old Monami cosplay, shook out the wig, and bought a single-day ticket. Even though I didn't feel the prettiest, attending the con reignited that little spark. Using the adult money that I now had from my job, I bought my first new cosplay in years, Muse-Rin, and wore it to a geeky market with some friends. I took some photos, revamped my old account, and put out my first new post in 2.5 years after my last one. I then blew my money on more cosplays. Win and I went to a Miku rave, then attended our first local event hosted by Only Together Events. Dressed up in cosplay just for fun to get pictures and go to the mall. We then attended more raves, more small events, and other get-togethers. Eventually, we attended our first big con, Calgary Expo 2025. Then we attended OtaFest 2025. we attended another Annie Egg hosted by Only Together Events. Then GameCon Canada 2025 and other smaller local events. For Animathon 2025, I crafted my first ever wig, which was for Teto. Then we attended Edmonton Expo in 2025. I dressed up as Teto for Halloween at work, and then dressed up as Star Guardian Akali to go out for Halloween with Win. During the off-season for conventions, we kept dressing up for fun, going out to raves and different parties and doing photo shoots. And then we attended the Near solo piano concert. If you remember earlier, I mentioned that I had cosplayed 2B before I disappeared, and yeah. It was finally now that I'd started to see that I was improving in skills I did not have before. Moving on, I was then Kobeni for the Chainsaw Man Cup Sleeve event hosted by Win and my other good pal Lara, aka Grape Fizz. And together they created Samafizz events on Instagram and TikTok. And I can't forget the best uncle in the world, Deerfall, or Derek, who now takes most of my cosplay photos. There was then the second coming of my Madoka cosplay. A party to celebrate the success of the Chainsaw Man Cup Sleeve. Shout out to Max, aka Kurapika's bitch, for lending me the wig and horns. A cosplay of Bird Brain Teto for the Miku Cup Sleeve, hosted by Yeg Project Sakai. A couple photos of Ame that I didn't post until way later. For Cos Circus, hosted by Three Ring Zine, I cosplayed Muse Dash Miku. And I went in my dream cosplay of Rosalina to go see the Mario Galaxy movie when it released. Then I attended Miku Expo in Vancouver with Win, and it felt like a decade-old dream of seeing Miku live finally came true. Not only was I there with Win, but I also got to attend with some friends I'd made through the year that I'm very grateful for, so shout out to you guys. Then Win, Lara, Derek, and I attended Calgary Expo 2026. Big shout out to my friends that appear in some of these photos. I appreciate you guys so much. Then there was photo day for the Velvet Lily Cafe, also hosted by the Goats at Samofizz events. As of creating this video, the most recent con that we attended was Odafest 2026. Most recently, we attended another Annie Egg where I dressed as one of the best Umas, Gold Ship. And that brings us to today. Currently, I'm prepping for GameCon Canada 2026. I'm so excited to see what I do next, where I go, and I'm as motivated as I've ever been. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope to see you around again soon.